adapt to different working environments. All right, so this is Miss A's response. All right, I'm going to give you a hint, and I will say there are some things that maybe not be so good about Miss A's response. Can someone in the chat tell me what is not so strong about this response? What is the issue with what Miss A says? I'll read it one more time. My biggest strength is that I'm highly organized and detail-oriented. I can manage multiple tasks efficiently and maintain accuracy. I also work well in teams and adapt to different working environments. What are some things that we maybe don't like about this? Anyone in the chat? It probably means that they're not independent. Ooh, that's interesting. They're not independent. What else? What do we not like about this? What does it sound like? She doesn't explain in more detail why she is detail-oriented. Maybe, yeah. It's not super detailed. Anyone else? What are things that might not be so good about this? What does it sound like? Okay, I'll ask you a more specific question. Does this sound like she is speaking naturally, or does it sound like maybe she used AI? Maybe she used a robot. Does it sound like a human being, or does it sound more like a robot? Sounds like ChatGPT. Yeah, it sounds like AI. I agree. A little overconfident, could be using AI. I agree, yeah? So not super specific too. I saw some ambiguous, bombastic selling. Yeah, right? It reads kind of like a LinkedIn summary. There's no proof, right? It's a little bit ambiguous, a little vague, and it sounds like AI, right? It looks like I went to ChatGPT and I said, write me an answer, right? Now let's read Mr. A's response. So I will read it for him. He said, I'd say my biggest strength is staying calm under pressure. For example, last quarter, our team had to deliver a report to a client in 48 hours. 2 people were out sick, so I stepped in, reorganized the tasks, and we delivered with time to spare. What I've learned is when everyone else is stressed, that's when I do my best work. All right, so we can see it's a little bit different. Why is this one better? Why do we think this one is better? Yeah, Mr. Echo. Mr. B is more detailed. He explains it better. He's more natural. What else? What is a little bit better about this one? Yeah, it's more realistic, right? It sounds like a real situation. It sounds like a conversation. He's more natural, a little bit more confident. Maybe he doesn't sound so much like a robot. Maybe he's still a robot, but maybe he sounds more human. It's detailed. Yeah, it's a very detailed example. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, very good. All right. So, why is it better? One, there is a specific story. Yeah, he has a team and they had one problem, right? They had to deliver in 48 hours, specific, right? He shows strength through behavior. So he shows that he stepped in, yeah? He did something. He reorganized the tasks and they still were successful, yeah? He pauses a little bit more, or I paused for him to create confidence, and it feels real. It feels authentic. I agree. Yeah. Very good. Like a true story, real experience. Good. Good, Mr. Johannes and Mr. Nurul. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about what is the difference between fluency and confidence in English. Fluency is how accurately or correctly you speak or how smoothly you speak. Confidence is how clearly and calmly you express yourself. So fluency is not the same as confidence. Fluency is my grammar correct? Is my English correct? Did I say the right word? And confidence is how clear I am. How am I expressing myself? Right? So your manager or your hiring manager, or even when you have a job, they value clarity, composure, and connection. So are we being clear? Are we being calm? And are we being real? Are we being authentic, right? They care more about these things that are connected to confidence rather than accuracy. They don't really care, right? Do you really care if someone uses the right grammar, the right tense, past continuous tense, present perfect tense? Sometimes it's more important that we are able to express ourselves calmly with composure and being very clear, right? So let's look at some more differences between the two. So fluency again is how smooth and accurate your language is. Confidence is how calm you are and that your communication is clear and controlled. Fluency might focus more on the specific words that I say. Am I pronouncing everything correctly? Maybe I'm saying the wrong word. Maybe they think it doesn't make sense, right? Maybe I'm focused on small words. Confidence, we are focused on the message and the overall presence, right? Do I look confident? Do I sound confident? Am I speaking at the right speed? Does everyone understand me? Or am I only just focused on my own words, right? Fluency is often trained through grammar exercises, while confidence is often built through mindset and body language. All right, so what does confidence look like in English? From a recruiter's perspective, so your recruiter is someone who is looking at you and thinking about hiring you, thinking about proposing you as a candidate to get a job. So a recruiter thinks that a steady tone and a natural smile can look like confidence. Active listening and responses. So, am I listening to what they're saying or am I too focused on my own mind, right? And short, structured answers. So, maybe I'm not talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, but instead, maybe have short answers that make sense. But what I learned is that I'm strong, that I am good under pressure, and that I am able to do a good job even when there are so many challenges around me. So I learned this thing. So positive framing. All right, so that's from a recruiter. From a communication coach, they like to focus on your pacing. So how fast am I speaking? Am I speaking really, really fast and no one really understands what I'm saying because I'm kind of too worried and scared and I don't know what to do? Am I speaking really slowly so no one understands me and they get kind of bored? Or am I speaking at a proper pace, a proper speed? They also look if you are making eye contact. And lastly, they are looking to see if you emphasized keywords naturally. Okay, so in your career journey, there are four important areas of confidence. So we are going to look at these more closely. The first one is your greeting and small talk, right? So when you meet someone for the first time. The second one is your job interview. So maybe I am trying to get a new job. So that will be focused on my storytelling and my structure in the job interview. The third one is negotiation. So maybe before the job or during your job, how can you negotiate with someone? And the fourth one are your presentation skills. So all four of these areas are very important in your career, and all of them have their own role and their own importance for later. So let's start with the first one. Greeting and small talk when you meet someone for the first time. I really, really like this photo. I think it's a very interesting photo, right? We have the Western and the Eastern greeting. So Western is usually handshake. Eastern is usually bowing, right? And you see it's a little bit flipped here, it looks like. So for greeting and small talk, people usually form opinions within only 7 seconds of meeting you. So it's very important that your first impression looks good. 55% of your first impression comes from body language. So am I standing straight? Do I look confident? 38% comes from your tone. So do I sound positive and happy? Do I sound natural? Or do I sound scared and nervous? And only 7% of your first impression comes from words, right? This is a very famous study called the Mehrabian study. So, what they are saying is that your body language and your tone, how you say it, is more important than what you say, more important than the words that you say. Right? So, a confident greeting shows that you are trustworthy and that you are competent, right? It's very important to have a good first impression. So let's look again at two different people who are greeting someone at a workplace. So I'm going to ask you, which response is better? The recruiter comes up to them and says, "Hi, how are you?" All right, and we have two different responses. The first one on the left, we have, "Hi, I'm Rena. Thanks for meeting me today. I saw downstairs that your team just wrapped up the pilot phase for the sustainability project. How did it turn out?" And the other one is, "Hi, how are you? Hello, I'm fine. Thanks." Which one do we think is better? The green or the blue? Left or right? If right is nonchalant, of course, green. Of course, green. Blue, we have a blue. Green, green. What are we thinking? Blue or green? I'm getting a lot of green. Yeah, more green. I have a blue. I think also for both of the questions that I will ask, depending on the context, sometimes green is better, sometimes blue is better, right? But maybe if we're meeting a recruiter for the first time, so someone who doesn't know me, right? Maybe they want to see if I'm an interesting person that pays attention to the company. Maybe green might be better in this case. Yeah. This one, blue, is not so great, right? We're not even asking them, "How are you?" back to them. So let's look at some reasons. Why is green better? Why is the green response better, do we think? Why do we think? Why do we think green might be better in some contexts? It's attentive, yeah? What does it show? What are we paying attention to? Yeah, the team's tasks. We are paying attention to the team's tasks, right? We already know some things about the company. Why else? Why else is this a little bit better? Yeah, because the context to respond to the recruiter, they can see how attentive they are and how attractive Rena is as a potential employee. I agree. Yeah, she's attentive. She has a good question. She sounds interesting. She sounds like she's interested in what the company does. Yeah, I agree. So here are some reasons, right? It shows awareness of the company's real activities. It sounds conversational, not memorized. And a common mistake that often people try to do is they try to memorize a perfect greeting that sounds robotic or forced. Instead, we want something that sounds a little natural, like Rena over here, right? She says, "Thanks for meeting with me. I saw downstairs when I was coming upstairs that your team did this thing," and she's asking for more information, right? She's interested in what's going on. Good. All right. Now let's move on to the second phase. The second phase is your job interview. So, in your job interview, a really important thing to remember is that a fact can inform you, but stories persuade. So, stories can convince someone to hire you, or they can convince someone to think that you are a very competent and good candidate for a job. So recruiters tend to remember moments, not lists of accomplishments. When we are answering questions in a job interview, we want to use the STAR method. So STAR, STAR, stands for in English, situation, task, action, and result. So here is an example. When our supplier failed to deliver on time, I coordinated an alternative plan with 24 hours, avoiding a $10,000 delay. All right. So the situation, our supplier failed to deliver on time. They are late, right? The task and what I did is I coordinated an alternative plan within 24 hours. What was the result? The result was that we avoided a $10,000 delay. So we had a very, very dire or dangerous situation. I did this thing, and this was my result. So let's look at another example. All right, we also want to practice saying your story out loud, not just writing it sometimes. Okay, similar to before. It says which response is better. So is it going to be the green or the blue? Your recruiter says, "Tell me about a challenging situation you faced." So think about a time you had a challenging situation. So on the left, we have the green one. Let's read that one. I have dealt with many challenging situations, such as supplier delays. I handled them by communicating with stakeholders and finding solutions. I was very successful and helped my team. Now let me read the blue one. When our supplier missed a shipment deadline, the team panicked. I reorganized the tasks, negotiated a backup vendor, and we delivered only 1 day late, saving the client relationship. All right, so in the chat, can you tell me, do we like the green one better, or do we think the blue one is stronger? All right, Mr. Johannes says blue. Mr. Ayub also says blue. We have the right one. Blue. Blue is more honest. I'm getting a lot of blue. Blue. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of blue. Yeah, I negotiated a backup vendor. All right, I agree with everyone. I also think the blue one is a little bit stronger. All right, let's look. Why do you guys think the blue one is stronger? What's really good about this? Reasons. Team player, yeah? So it's not so egoistic. I like that word. It's not so egoistic. Yeah, the green one maybe doesn't have details. He is more realistic. He shows responsibility. He finds a win-win solution. Yeah. Yeah, I like these. I like these answers. Good job, guys. Good. Yep. So I agree, right? We have a clear and specific challenge. So we have a supplier who missed a deadline. It's clear, it's specific. We have concrete action verbs. What does this mean? We have the word reorganized. We have the word negotiated. We have the word delivered, right? They are concrete action verbs. And we have only 1 day late, right? It's quantified. There's a number. So it's easier to remember. I like these. Yeah. Very good. And a fast solution. Yep. I like these. Good, good, good. All right, moving on to number 3. We have negotiation. Negotiation English. All right, so negotiation is not a confrontation. It's not a fight, right? We're not fighting people to see who wins, but rather we want collaboration. So in this photo, is this a good negotiation or a bad negotiation? What do we think? Do we think they're doing good or do we think they're failing? No, not a good one. Bad, absolutely. Heated. Yeah, bad, not good. I agree, right? Everyone looks a little bit stressed, in my opinion. So, strong communicators can balance being assertive. Assertive means that you can say what you want. I can tell you very clearly what I want, but I will also have empathy so I can still understand I want something and you also want something. So that means that we can have a negotiation. It's not just me, but it's rather, I want this. What do you want, right? You can balance the two, assertiveness and empathy. All right, so let's see. Which response do we think is better here? The client says, will it be okay for you to work from the office? Right? Do you think it's okay to work from the office? All right, we have the green one. Let's read green first. I understand the office needs. However, having some work from home days helps me stay focused and energized. Maybe we can find a balanced mix. Some days on site, some remote. So the team gets the face time it needs while I can perform at my best. Would you be open to that? And the blue? I'd really prefer to work from home most of the time because it's more comfortable for me. Coming into the office regularly isn't ideal, so I'm hoping we can just keep things mostly remote. Let me know if that's possible. Which one do we like more? So both of them kind of don't really want to work from the office. They both want to work from home. But whose is better? Is it green or blue? I'm getting green. Lots of green. Green. Yeah, I agree. I agree with everyone. I think green is a little bit stronger. And why do you guys think green is better? What's better about green? Why is green stronger? All right, it's more reasonable due to teamwork attitude over individualistic. Yeah, I agree, Mr. Ayub. Good reasons. Yeah, and Mr. Echo, it offers a win-win solution, right? So they want something that might be balanced, right? It's not just me. but it's asking for maybe we can do two things, right? We can have a balanced solution. I agree. All right. Why is it better? It acknowledges the other side. It offers a structured solution and it uses soft assertiveness, right? So I'm still telling you that I want to work from home. I'm not saying, oh, it's okay. I can come to the office every day. Every day I can go. I did not say that, right? I still want to work from home, but this time I'm doing it in more of a balanced way. Yeah. Work-life balance. Yeah. Balanced. I agree. Good. All right. All right. This is the last one. Number 4, presentations. All right. So confident English delivery can help shape your presence and how you look like in a presentation. So we can see before, maybe in a presentation, I might say, our company has increased profits by 10%. But maybe after I practice my presentation skills a little bit, I might say, over the past year, we didn't just grow, we transformed. Profits rose 10%, but customer trust rose even higher, right? So with confident English, you might be able to make your statements sound more impactful, more important, right? So yes, the company increased profits by 10%, but that doesn't mean that that's all the only thing that happened, right? That 10% meant that we transformed. Customer trust rose even higher alongside the profits. A confident presenter can tell you a story about progress. It's not just numbers, right? We want to hear a story. Sometimes when you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you might get a little bored, but a good presenter can tell you a story, make it kind of interesting, right? All right, so let's listen to 2 different presentation openings. Similar again, green or blue? So green. Today I will talk about communication. Communication is important for companies. Okay, yes, let's begin. Please give me your full attention, since that is important for effective communication. All right, and the other one. Imagine this. Your team doubles in size next year. How do you maintain clear communication? Your team is 2 times bigger. Today, I'll show 3 strategies that helped our department stay aligned during rapid growth. All right, which presentation opening do you guys like better? Do we like green? Do we like blue? What do we think? Blue, I get more persuasive. Blue, we have blue. More realistic, I see. Relevance. Blue, it's more enjoyable, right? Powerful storytelling, more interesting. Clear structure. I like clear structure. Yeah, good. And good reasons as well for everyone who gave me a reason. Yeah, why do we like blue? The presenter in blue gives eye contact, and maybe, yeah, maybe they're giving better eye contact. I don't know, right? We're online right now, but maybe in person, and they're trying to communicate with the audience. Yeah, good answers, guys. Right. So this one uses imagination to hook the audience. So the audience is more interested. It provides a good structure. And it speaks to the audience, not just at them, right? I'm telling you to imagine, think about your team. Maybe it gets 2 times the size. So it's helping them to think alongside you. Good. All right. For everyone, out of the 4 stages, right? So we have the greeting, we have the interview, we have negotiation, we have presentation. Which stage is most difficult for you? Is it one, two, three, or four? You can just type a number in the chat. Which one is the most hard? Greeting, interview, negotiation, presentation? What do you guys find the most difficult? I see interview. Three, yeah? Or two. That's two, I think. Number two. I wanna see everyone. I'm getting a lot of interview. Anything else other than interview? Or is interview the most hard? Interview because it makes you nervous. Yeah, then your confidence goes down. That's true. I see depends. Yeah, depends. Negotiation. Negotiation might be hard. Interview and negotiation. Yeah, it does depend. It does depend. Greetings, the least one. Yeah, greetings is the easiest, maybe. Greetings. Yeah, I see a lot of interview. Interesting. So we find interview to be difficult. I think interviews are kind of scary, right? Because we all want to get the job. So it's kind of hard to be confident, probably. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of interviews, some negotiation. What about presentation? Are most of you guys confident in presentation? Is that easy? Presentation depends on the situation. Yeah, Echo is confident. Yeah, more confidence in presentation. Yeah, not easy. So depend. I think some people think it's easy, some people thinks it's difficult. I think presentations are quite difficult sometimes. They're kind of scary. Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. Very good. All right. So, human advantage. So, we know all of these things. I'm sure that you guys know about these four things. But what can human coaching help you guys with, right? So, a human feedback on your negotiation skills or your interview skills, it can help you adjust the tone and the pacing. It can also help you read emotions and respond naturally in the moment. When you have a human with you and you're not just practicing by yourself on a laptop or with an AI bot, a human being can help you reading emotions. A human being's feedback can also help you develop empathy through listening and eye contact. And it helps you handle the real life pressure, right? In an interview, you have a person in front of you. You're talking to a real human being. So it can help you handle pressure. The more people you talk to, the easier it is down the road when you deal with business clients, when you deal with your boss, when you deal with the person interviewing, right? Confidence is not written. So you can't just write down and write down and write down and memorize, but you have to practice, right? And practice speaking with a real human being. So you can train your tone, your clarity, and your empathy, right? So a template or AI can help you to organize your ideas. It might help you to improve your writing as well. But confidence, clarity, and connection still come from you, right? You have to practice it. So real confidence cannot come from a robot or a chat GPT, but you have to train it, you have to practice it, and you have to feel confident in real life, right? So if you guys would like some human help, some human feedback, some training to really make you confident in your interviews, you can join the CLS Career Confidence course, right? It helps you to build skills that no textbook or AI can teach you. It can teach you to have the proper tone, to be confident, have a good presence, and be authentic in your delivery, whether it be in a presentation, in an interview, in a negotiation. If you feel like you need that help, there is an amazing course that you guys can join. Right? And so That's why we have this amazing event that's coming up soon. It is in person, so it is not online, and it will be held at the CLS Jakarta office on December 5th and December 6th. So I believe that's in just 2 weeks, right? It's called the Road to Career Confidence series, unlocking your potential to a professional path. So it's a 2 day workshop, right? There are going to be many, many speakers. I will be one of them. And there are some really, really big names and talented people that can teach you and help work with you if you guys feel like you would like to learn more, right? So this is on Friday and Saturday. Friday the 5th, we have a few different workshops going on here. And on the 6th, we have another confident speaking, if that's what you're interested in. We have an amazing workshop on networking as well, and a empowerment session with teaching you how you can lead with a purpose and make an impact. I think I didn't go over the fifth one, right? So we also have real world communication. We have your branding, your personal branding, and we have an impromptu speaking workshop. So all of these are in just 2 days, and 3 people today will win some free tickets to come and attend. But for everyone, I really, really recommend you checking out this series. It will be very, very cool, very useful, and I think it will help you get ahead in the business world if that is what you're looking for. All right, but with that, we have reached the end of our webinar content for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that I didn't speak too quickly. I tend to do that quite often. But thank you so much for your attention. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope it was entertaining. And I hope it got you really excited about building your English and your career confidence. Thank you, everyone, so much. I will turn it back to you, Jobstreet.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Hira, for your insightful presentation. Okay, so let's move to the Q&A session. Here we have about 4 questions going